Hello Gemini, this is EJ with EJ Star Tarot with your reading for May 2020. So we're doing something just a little different. We have intuition, we have inspiration, we have possibilities, transition, and create. So we will be clarifying these cards as well. So intuition, let's talk about intuition. This card is asking you to pay attention to your intuitive side, right? The more that you follow your intuition, the stronger it'll become, and then you can trust that guidance, that it's leading you to something really positive, something really good. It's leading you to find inspiration for something, inspiration to create something here, because we have create. Inspiration to see the possibilities before you. The possibilities are endless, right? They're endless. You can do whatever you want as long as you find the inspiration to do that. But then you have transition here, right? And transition talks about letting that old you, that old stuff, that old thing fall away and create space for something new. When you allow transition to come in, you're able to create things, right? You're able to create a new path, new energy, a new you. You're able to create whatever it is that you want. This allows you to, when we allow the transition to come in, it allows you to begin to create things, right? You start to utilize that creative side of you that inspires you. Whatever it is inspiring to you, it allows you to create the path that you want. So maybe you want money, maybe you want stability, maybe you want to move, maybe you want to travel. Whatever it is, maybe you actually want to create something, right? But whatever this is, Gemini is asking you to listen to your intuition. Find that inspiration, right? Because possibilities are endless for you. But you have to let it transition. You have to transition everything, right? So when you find inspiration, you transition it to create. And you can't do that if you're not listening, if you're not really following that gut feeling, right? And this can be anything. This could be creating anything. So let's clarify. Thank you for all your likes, your shares, and your subscribes. I really appreciate your donations, and I appreciate those who've been purchasing private readings with me. I also appreciate those who become members of my channel. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like. Divine Universe, Holy Spirit, and Guardian Angels, I ask that you please clarify this reading for the zodiac sign of Gemini for the month of May 2020, please. Zodiac sign of Gemini for the month of May. Well, we're already in May. It's going by so fast. You think it would go by slow because you're kind of just stuck in your house, but for me, it's been really super fast. But I've been stuck in my house before the pandemic because I don't have a job and I've been looking. So I have no opportunities. So, and more so, probably, who knows, right? Who knows? And life is a journey. And life is curious. It's just very, it piques your curiosity of what's going to happen next. Alright, Spirit, let's clarify intuition for Gemini. Please, what is intuition here for Gemini in the month of May 2020? What is intuition here for Gemini? Clarify the intuition card for Gemini, please. Okay, so, interesting enough. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and then we have the World card. Okay? So trust in your intuition, something that you've been patiently waiting for may come to you through but you have to trust that it's there for you, right? Trust that this is happening for you because the Seven of Pentacles is patiently waiting, being positive, seeing the growth, right? Receiving good news, and trust your intuition that this is about to change for you. Financially, it's about to change for you. You have the World card, which talks about changes, right? It talks about completion, success, having confidence, really ending of bad cycles and the beginning of something new. And this is something a lot of you have been waiting for. A lot of you have been waiting for that, okay? So I do see this happening for you. Now let's go ahead and clarify this inspiration card. Spirit, let's clarify inspiration for Gemini. What is inspiration here? the cards are just like falling in chunks. Let me do another shuffle. Inspiration. Why is this here? Inspiration. Why is this inspiration here for Gemini? Please, month of May 2020. Some of you already know that things are about to change for you, right? Some of you know that there's positive results because you can sense it, you can feel it. You're doing the work behind the scenes. And I do feel like that things are going to start to change for you. Some of you may even, want to travel, right? And you're patiently waiting for that opportunity. Inspiration, please. Clarify this inspiration card for Gemini. Month of May 2020. Inspiration. Why is this here? Inspiration. Why is inspiration here for Gemini, please? Okay, so we have the Eight of Wands. Let's get another card for inspiration, Spirit. One more card for inspiration. So already with the Eight of Wands, there's progress, right? There's progress and rewards. And the Seven of Pentacles talks about patiently waiting for those rewards, right? Patiently waiting for things to change. Patiently waiting for whatever to come in, right? You may be receiving news that brings that inspiration, because that's what Eight of Wands is. It's all about messages coming in. It's all about progress. It's about forward movement. And now you're finding that inspiration. You're being inspired by it. And it's something that a lot of you have been waiting for, patiently waiting for, and possibly losing your patience, right? Definitely can see that happening here. One more card, please, Spirit, for inspiration. Why is this here? One more card for inspiration, please. We may not get another card, Gemini, so we may just have to leave it with that, because that could just be it. Okay, thank you, Spirit. All right, so inspiration, we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands talks about receiving messages, right? It also talks about travel. But it also talks about things happening really quickly with this Eight of Wands being here. This is like manifesting very quickly, or waiting on a decision. But you get this news, you get this communication, and it brings inspiration. And the reason why I say that is because you have the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups, he brings us news, and he brings us good news. And he brings us news that we're just so excited about, right? The Page of Cups, it's all about being inspired about this message. And here we are with inspiration. So he brings you this news that happens very quickly. Now you're inspired by it. This is positive outcomes. This is happy news. But this also could be that you may be inspired creatively, being artistically creative in some shape, way, or form, right? So this could be that as well. We do have the Two of Swords, so I kind of feel like this is more of, you were waiting on the decision to come in, or waiting on this message, and it comes in, and now you're like, okay, what shall I do? Because some of you may be at a crossroad about something, but I do feel like you're inspired by a message that comes in, or some kind of communication that kind of brings your hopes up, right? So I do see that happening. And I feel like the Page of Cups brings this message in, and he's like, okay, here it is. And it could be that a lot of you are just being very inspired and with this news, or being inspired creatively, just kind of working things out that way. But your possibilities, again, are endless, right? Because we have the possibility cards here. Maybe you get 2 messages or 3 messages, right? But there's messages coming in. Possibilities. Let's clarify the possibilities. Why is this here for Gemini? The month of May 2020. Why is possibilities here for Gemini? Month of May 2020. What is possibilities about? Clarify the possibilities, please. Okay. These possibilities are endless. That comes out of nowhere. This opportunity is going to come out of nowhere. You have the Ace of Wands. Again, this could be a lot of creativeness here, because we have this Ace of Wands, and that's what the Ace is all about. It's about a new beginning. It could be creative, wanting to start a new business, the start of a new creative endeavor, whatever this may be. But this opportunity is going to be endless. This new beginning is going to be, the possibilities are great. And because this is the Four of Cups being here, and because of the cards that it's paired with, this kind of comes out of nowhere. It's when you least expect it that news comes in. Okay, so I do see that. And there's some kind of transition that's going to happen. Let's clarify this transition, please, for Gemini. Why is transition here for Gemini, please? Yes. Okay, so we have the Strength card. So the Strength card is talking about having patience, having courage, and being positive, and taking action to allow this transition to happen, right? It's all about transitioning things and allowing the change to happen and following your intuition that something is coming in really positive for you here. Let's clarify this Create card. Let's clarify the Create card. But remember, you could be creating anything. You could be creating this new path, this new journey, this new opportunity, or you could be actively creating something, like physically creating something. Create, please. Clarify this Create card. So we have the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is somebody who's very curious, and he's somebody who's very, he's inspired. Right? So this could be that your curiosity is inspiring you to create things. That's what this talks about. There's a lot of creation here. A lot of, whether it's in your mind or your, wow. Being inspired to create your abundance, your financial stability here. Being curious and just moving out in that direction, right? That curiosity in Gemini is kind of sometimes, it pushes us out and to step out of the norm. And when we do that, we're like, wow, we get kind of like this wake up. But look at this. Whatever this is definitely going to bring you financial stability. You're creating this windfall of money. Whether it is a new job, a new career, a business, finding things to do creatively, this is something that is really, really good. So whatever's inspiring you to create this, the possibilities are endless. But you have to have that inner strength and that courage, right? To allow this transition to happen so that you can move forward. And when you're moving forward, because there's a lot of progress coming in, you remain balanced. Okay, so don't go get all like nervousy and jittery and get out of balance here. Remain balanced. Be sensible when you're doing these things, right? And know that the things are still going to start to move for you because we have the Chariot. And it's going to move in moderation, right? So you're going to know exactly what needs to happen. You're going to do it. You're going to be determined to succeed and have victory. Your inspiration is going to allow you to move forward to succeed and have victory here. Gemini, I hope that you enjoyed this message. Be safe and we'll talk soon.